In an amazing story brought to light in a documentary, a 75-year-old woman from Morocco gave birth to a stone baby that she had conceived 46 years ago and had carried inside her for nearly half a century. The story of Zahra Aboutalib was aired in the UK documentary Extraordinary People, which follows the lives of people with rare medical conditions or unusual abilities. Zahra's shocking story unraveled in 2001 when she began experiencing acute abdominal pains at the age of 75 in Rabat, the capital of Morocco. She was rushed to the hospital wrecked in pain and her stomach swollen to an unnatural size. Doctors suspected she had an ovarian tumor, but an ultrasound scan revealed only a bizarre mass that they could not identify. In order to find out more, they sent Zahra for further scans. The doctors are shocked by what they see. Inside the 75-year-old woman's stomach is a baby, and even more shockingly, the baby had been conceived 46 years ago. Back in 1955, Zahra was a blissfully married young woman, pregnant with her first child. The 26-year-old housewife said she was very happy to be having the child, although she had pains and bleeding. The baby wanted to come, she said. However, after 48 hours of excruciatingly painful labor, the baby still would not come. She was rushed to the local hospital, and doctors told her that if they did not operate on her, her baby would die. Lying in a hospital bed, Zahra heard a woman screaming as she died on the operating table during a cesarean section. Horrified, Zahra decided the risk wasn't worth it. She fled the hospital and went back to her small village outside Casablanca. 46 years later. "If I was going to die, I would rather die at home," she said. After a few days, the pain miraculously stopped. According to local legend, babies can go to sleep inside a mother's womb to protect their honor. So, Zahra thought her baby had just gone to sleep. She believed that one day, her sleeping baby would wake up. "I could still feel him inside me, and I thought, if he wanted to stay sleeping, I would let him stay," she said. To forget the trauma of her failed pregnancy, she adopted 3 children, who grew up and went on to have children of their own. Fast forward 46 years later, Zahra's excruciating pains return. Her adopted son becomes worried about his mother's declining health and takes her to all the local doctors, hoping to find a cure. "I took her to doctors in Casablanca. We took her everywhere, we tried everywhere, then we hear there was this doctor in Rabat," said Zahra Aboutalib. She was barely able to make the grueling 4-hour journey to Rabat. Doctors performed an ultrasound and discovered that her sleeping baby was actually an ectopic pregnancy that had become a fetus mummified in her womb over nearly half a century. Ectopic literally means out of place. In a normal pregnancy, the fertilized egg travels down the fallopian tube and implants itself in the uterus. There, it is able to get as much space and nutrients that the uterus provides to grow into a healthy baby. However, in an ectopic pregnancy, the egg implants itself in the fallopian tube. In extremely rare cases such as Zahra's, the fetus bursts out of the fallopian tube and then goes on to develop in the abdominal cavity. According to the documentary, most such fetuses die within 3 months in an inhospitable environment. However, Zahra's fetus was able to survive by attaching its placenta to vital organs in Zahra's stomach and remained there for the next 46 years. 9 months into the pregnancy pains Zahra began to experience were actually signs of a distressed baby, as it was running out of oxygen. Zahra mistook them as signs that she was ready to give birth. In reality, the baby would never have been able to come out naturally through her cervix, giving birth to a stone baby. So, the baby died. Being too large to be reabsorbed by the mother, Zahra's body instead chose to wrap it in layers of a calcium substance, shielding the mother's body from the dead tissue of the baby and preventing infection. In 1955, she would have required a complicated procedure to remove the baby. Her fleeing the hospital 46 years ago might have saved her life, as there was a small chance that the technology available in those days was advanced enough to separate the fetus from her vital organs. Even in 2001, the operation was a difficult one. The danger was that she would bleed to death, as they removed the calcified stone baby. The baby had fused to Zahra's bladder, stomach, abdominal wall and veins. Any minor slip of the scalpel could have punctured these organs and cost Zahra her life. It surgeons almost 4 hours to remove the fetus from its tomb. The fetus weighed 7 pounds and measured 42 centimeters in length. At the time of the documentary, only 300 cases of such stone babies, also known as lithopedians, had been reported in medical history. After 46 years, Zahra was finally able to give birth to her baby. Subscribe for more explosive news.